That's good. One likes vegan, one doesn't. So
I love
everybody's
this one.
in a.
I didn't expect to love it so much. Ooh.
Wait, so should I
What?
stop this?
Dan, so you guys don't get pizza?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
they
pizza, but it's not even that much pizza.
I know, it's like none left for y'all.
Usually there's way more.
Yeah,
pizza.
usually
We
we
have like huge pies.
but we did the vegan place, so they're like these little tiny ones.
Fancy pizza.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Pizza and Chill with Lisa and Camille. Today we have Angela Yee with us. What's up, Angela?
Hey, I'm eating pizza. And
Yeah, it's a
chilling.
pizza party.
So you're actually the very first female that we've had on. I mean, we've only done 4 episodes, but
That's amazing. I love when that happens.
yeah, we were so excited to have you because you are literally like the voice of a generation. I mean, you're like killing it. You're doing what you have Breakfast Club, your book club,
Yes.
and your juice company.
Yeah, I have a juice bar and I have a pressed juice company.
Oh my gosh, so it's 2 different things then. I thought it was
Yes,
just
it's
okay.
2 different. So the juice bar is Juices for Life, and that's a brick and mortar in Brooklyn that I do with Styles P and DJ Envy. And then I have the Drink Fresh Juice, and that's a subscription-based juice business. So people can order that online and like, you know, and I did that because, and that's a fairly new one. It's only been around for 2 months.
Oh my
But
gosh,
I did that just because people would come to the juice bar or not come and say, I wish I had this, you know, where I'm from. So I wanted to provide that option. And I also drink pressed juices a lot as well.
Yeah.
Just because you can put those in the fridge, you can drink them later, you can bring them to work, take them to go. At the juice bar, when we make those juices, you kind of have to drink them right
On the
away,
spot,
or
yeah.
they separate and all of that. So
Yeah.
So is it like mail service? Like you
yeah,
click and you
it's
order?
a subscription, so you can like order a 6-pack and you know try 6 different flavors. And say you were doing like a detox or something, you can order the green veg. You can get the apple lemon ginger. There's a beet gingerade.
So you
and
do
they
like
taste,
3-day detoxes and
yeah,
stuff like that?
and they
Oh,
taste
that's
really,
awesome.
really good too. If you try them, like people will tell you. Some people don't really get that. They think it's going to taste nasty, and people think because something's healthy, it tastes nasty.
Yeah.
But they are delicious. I'm going to send you guys some.
I
Oh my
want
god,
some.
I would love that. 'cause
I
I'm
need
excited.
to try some. You know what? I need to get Michael onto that.
Yes, you should have it. I'm going to send
Like
you
a
guys
3-day
some.
detox.
Let me know because they come in like a cold pack thing. So you
Yeah.
just have to make sure you're around that day when I send them so you don't have them sitting too long.
Yeah. I
Do you
would
get
love
that sent to
try
your house on the regular, or do you just go to Brooklyn?
Yeah, I have them. I can go pick them up.
That's awesome.
And I think, you know, and I always tell people, I'm not saying this should ever take the place of you juicing at home because I think the best thing you can do is make juices at home. But I also know how I am. And I know that, like, sometimes I'm not going to go and buy the fruits and vegetables and clean
a
out the
lot of
juicer.
work.
It's a lot. And you want to just have the convenience of taking something to go.
It's so much work cleaning the actual juicer.
Yeah.
I used to have a juicer. It's like every day you have to
It's the
scrape that
convenience that
fiber.
you pay for, the convenience
For
of
sure.
trying to
Right.
be healthier but not wanting to do that. And then sometimes the fruits and vegetables go bad because you order them at home.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is annoying.
Have you heard of the celery juice craze where people are drinking that first thing in the morning? Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it, but I saw it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of the taste of celery.
You know me either.
But in the green veg, I've gotten used to it.
right. And
But
it's
so I
worth,
don't know
like,
if I could
the
drink
benefit.
a whole celery. I read this whole thing about a woman who did it like every day, and you know she
Right.
talked about what it did for her. So I don't know. I'm not really into that.
Yeah,
idea.
as we eat pizza.
I know, right?
Today we have a vegan pizza and a regular pizza from And Pizza, but which one do you guys like better?
Regular.
Yeah, I like the regular too.
I haven't tried the regular, but the vegan one is so good.
It's
Really?
not bad. It's
All
a
right, well,
different type of taste.
It's so good. It's
I
got
think
like,
it's a little bit slimy.
I
But
kind of like that. I like the slimy.
Okay, so you like that texture. Try the regular one. I think that one's really good.
You guys thought I was vegan, maybe.
Yeah, because
I appreciate that though.
I'm like, she owns a juice company. She's definitely vegan. She healthy, girl.
Yeah.
I need to get her a vegan pizza.
You know, I just try to be balanced. Like, you know, the thing is, and I don't like when people shame people for like their eating habits
No.
and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you eat that, you eat this." I think that it's important to talk about just being balanced. Like sometimes we are gonna not do the best things. Like I love dessert; that's never gonna change.
Oh my God,
Yeah, me
same.
too.
Yeah, that's like my
Chocolate.
guilty pleasure, and I do love pizza. Like I can't imagine myself not eating pizza, so it's good that there's vegan options.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just important to have balance. Like some days we're not gonna do so great.
No.
So that just means
Right.
tomorrow do a little better.
Tomorrow eat salads
Yeah,
and drink water. And
exactly.
then today you had pizza. It's not a big deal.
I honestly like eating tons of really bad food one night because then you set
Then you feel
yourself
fine.
Yeah, you set yourself up for the week. You're like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'm
Right.
gonna like kill it and drink my juice and
Yeah, moderation.
salads and shit.
Nothing good comes from deprivation, guys.
And the good thing I've been doing with the pressed juices too is I've been making mixed drinks with them.
Oh my God.
Like
I
alcohol?
Yeah, and they taste great. They taste way better. Like imagine you have a grapefruit ginger with tequila,
The ginger.
but it's real grapefruit and ginger,
Oh
and
my
nothing
God.
else added to it, and not artificial.
Yeah.
It tastes way different than if you have like a processed drink.
pineapple
Concentrated.
juice or whatever. And
Right.
It makes you so hungover the next day anyway.
Exactly. All that sugar, like this is all natural sugars. It's
Yeah.
organic. So I think like that's what I'm talking about when I say balance, you know? So I have some restaurants like at Brooklyn Chop House, they have a whole menu of drinks with the drink fresh juices. So
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Did you like adopt these like balance eating habits because of your schedule and like
Yes.
the fact that you have to be up early every day and you need all this energy and everything else?
that's exactly why I started it.
Okay.
Just because there's times when like our food dictates so much of how we feel, right, throughout the day. So you know when you want to have a good day and you have a long day ahead of you, you're like, okay, I got to eat good today because I know if I have like burgers and fries in the middle of the day for lunch, it's going to kill me later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's why sometimes in the morning, I've never been a big breakfast person.
Yeah.
Right, like I can't have like French toast in the morning every day and eggs and like turkey sausages and all of that because that's gonna make me later on feel exhausted and like just hit a wall.
Yeah, because your body's working so hard to break that down that you're using all your energy with that, and then I'm sure you need energy for the breakfast club because there's so much going on.
yeah.
How do you manage that? Like, how do you wake up every day at 4 a.m. and manage to look beautiful with your makeup done and like the braids in your hair and you put earrings on and like you just look
Oh, the
great?
makeup artist does that.
Oh, okay. I thought you did your own makeup.
Hell no,
Okay.
I can't even do makeup. I'm gonna be honest. You can see a big difference from when I do my own makeup and when my makeup artist does it. But fortunately, we're on Revolt TV every day.
Oh.
So they hired, and I put that in the contract. I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna need makeup because it's true. Like,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes we have a long night, and I come in and I tell you, I look like hell in the morning sometimes.
We're gonna have to
we
write
all?
that into our contract. Makeup.
Yeah, so thankfully, I do have a makeup artist, so it's like night and day. I know the security downstairs, when they see me walk in the building, they probably like, ugh. And then I walk out. And like,
You
oh
walk
my
out there
God.
like, oh,
Yeah.
damn, girl,
Who's that?
Oh my gosh. So you really wake up 4 on the dot every day?
Yes,
Do you
I
ever
wake
sleep
up.
in?
You know what? Only on the weekends. I sleep in. I wake up at like maybe 7 on the weekends.
So that means you go to
That's
bed.
sleeping in. Oh my
You
god.
go to bed at like 8 p.m. every night.
Never.
Never. Oh my
I
God. So
normally-
you just don't sleep.
On
then.
average, I get about like 4.5, 5 hours of sleep on average.
So you're in bed by like 12?
11, 11:30, 12, like around that time, I always go to bed. It's impossible to go to bed at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like you who probably has like events to go to and like, you know, you
Yes.
want to go to a basketball
And I
game.
just can't.
Yeah, you don't want to miss anything. You want to watch like your favorite show on TV and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just accustomed to not getting a full night's sleep.
Yeah.
So can you
Okay.
walk us through your day, like on
Yeah.
a daily? Because you have your podcast too. So.
Oh my God. All right, so I'll tell you what I did yesterday.
Okay. Perfect.
So yesterday I got up and you know, somebody asked me one day if I could have a superpower, what would it be? And that would be for me to wake up as soon as my alarm goes off.
Oh.
Because it really does take me like 40 minutes to get out of bed. I don't know if you guys can
That's
wake
me,
up.
yeah.
But I have to at least press snooze like 4 times before I get up. And I feel like that's such a waste of sleep. But anyway, so I wake up, I set my alarm for 4. I probably get out of bed like around, truthfully, like 4:30 something.
Okay.
And if it's 4:40, I'm like, oh my God, right? And then I
Right.
jump out of bed, take a shower. I watch the news while I'm showering. So I'm always like trying to figure out what happened, what did I miss while I was asleep,
Yeah.
what's the big stories of the day. So that's
Right.
how I really find out. I turn on the news every morning. And then I take my vitamins before I leave the house. So that way, by the time I start the show, I'm a little more awake.
Yeah.
Because vitamins, I have to take those every day. If not, I feel a difference.
They kick in.
Yeah, they definitely kick in by that time. So then I drive to work every morning. It takes me like 15 minutes.
Oh, wow, that's
yeah,
so
that's
quick.
close. I live in Brooklyn. We work downtown. Unless I
Right.
miss a light, and then it's 18 minutes.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. I was thinking maybe
I
you
time it, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's so early you're
There's
missing
no
rush
traffic.
hour.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
So then, you know, we have parking. So I park, go into the building. We have security that walks us in every day. So if
Nice.
anybody wants to try to get slick and jump us outside
Yeah.
the studio.
I'm just saying because like that's a controversial show you're on. I'm pretty sure like some people.
Yeah,
do.
the security's not because of me, but, you know.
No, I know not you. No, I know it's not you.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But so then, you know, we go to work, and that's when I get in makeup. But while I'm sitting there doing makeup, I usually get to work around like 5:30. And so while I'm in makeup, I'm going over what I'm doing on the show with the associate producer. So we start talking about the news stories, because that's the first thing we do. So we talk about, okay, so what are we going to talk about today? All right, well, this happened. What do you think about this story? So we go over what we think the best stories for our listeners would be.
Right.
And so we go through those things. And then, you know, the show starts. And then basically the show starts at 6 on the dot every morning.
Right.
And
You're
I'm
the
there.
first person there.
I'm always the first person
You're
there.
never- yeah.
Yeah. And you hear Charlemagne come in late every day.
Yeah, like,
and
click,
miss
hello.
it.
Yeah.
And then he'll say, oh, we should start the show later. Like,
6 a.m. But thank God you're there on time, or sometimes there would
sometimes
be nobody
I'm there
there.
alone.
Yeah, imagine
There
nobody's
would be no show.
Yeah, there would be no show.
You'd have the
If-
producers on there like, hi guys.
They would panic. I think that,
Interns.
that might be a good joke next year to play on them.
Oh, for April Fools.
Yes.
Yeah, that
be
would be
on,
great.
like,
Nobody shows up.
and no one shows up. I don't know how our boss would feel about it. But anyway, so then after that, we do all of our interviews after the show. That's like a spoiler, but you know, if you watch it, clearly we pre-tape a lot of the stuff.
Right. So because sometimes I see Charlemagne posting, and I just followed you today, but it's like, oh, tomorrow we have Dr. Oz on the Breakfast Club, and I'm
Right.
like, oh, so it's not the same day that we're here. Okay, so it's pre-recorded.
Yeah, because what happens is the full interview will be on YouTube, but we can't put the full interview on the air, so we have to really pick up the highlights because of how the breaks are scheduled, how
Yeah.
long they are. You know, an interview might be an hour, but on the air, it's only 18 minutes.
Right.
They need time to edit
Oh,
it.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes we normally have like 2 or 3 interviews after the show. So I'm there until that. So yesterday we did that, and then I left and I had 2 episodes of my podcast to tape. It's called Lip Service. So I went and did my
Yeah,
podcast.
we watched it.
We had Lizzo on, and then we had on Donna and Alex from Black Ink New York. And so we did that. And then I had to host this hair braiding battle.
Oh, I saw on
my
your Instagram.
gosh.
Yeah. So my hair was braided. I took it out. But I had to host a hair braiding battle. So that was fun. And then I got home around 9:30.
So you got up at 4 and you got home at 9:30, and then you need time to unwind. So then what time did you get to bed?
I probably went to bed like around 11
Okay, and then up again at 4.
and then up again.
Okay, so getting the makeup artist helps then, because you don't have to do that in the day.
Exactly. It helps me so much. I honestly, like, I'm mad when Revolt is off because they're off next week. Because I'm like, damn it, what am I
You
going to
gotta
do
do your
about
own
makeup?
makeup.
Oh no.
Have someone
I'm
show
gonna be
up there
looking
for
a
you.
mess. I'm going to have to
Yeah.
get lash extensions.
Glam
Yeah, that
Squad.
helps.
Call
Oh,
Glam Squad.
There's a lot of makeup artists that will always hit me up and be like, oh, I want to come. And even my makeup artist from Revolt, she'll still come do it. You know, like, because she loves me.
Yeah.
I love
Aw.
her too.
Yeah. Was the braiding, what was it, braiding competition? Was it based on speed or like precision?
So there's different ones, right?
Oh.
But it is time. But they had one that was like a really fast one that they only had, I think, was it 14 minutes to do like 4 straight back braids. And then one girl, she was so fast that she finished hers in like 9 minutes. And so as a joke, I like jumped in the chair and got mine. That's how fast she was.
Oh,
like,
wow.
At braiding. It was amazing.
Oh my god.
But I love getting my hair braided, period. Like ever since I was a
so
kid.
easy to
Just-
also after.
I noticed everyone that was getting their hair braided in your videos, they looked like so bored. They're like,
Yeah, what are you
get
gonna
this
do?
done with. But
Yeah.
then when they filmed you getting your hair braided,
You're like,
hi.
yay! Because I was only there for 5 minutes.
Oh, she was so
Yeah, that's
fast.
true.
Yeah, I only had to do 5 minutes, and it was unexpected, and it was just kind of a joke. Like, she's so fast, she did 2 people
Oh, yeah,
as opposed to 1.
Yeah.
So, but some of the competitions really, like, I got my hair braided. I went to Dominican Republic for my friend's birthday a couple of weeks ago. I got my hair braided, and it took like 5 hours.
On the beach, you did it?
No, I did it at home before I left.
Oh, okay.
And
my
so,
gosh.
yeah, it takes a long time. There's times like when I got my hair braided before, smaller braids, that took like 8 hours.
Oh my
so it's a
God.
lot of patience.
And
like,
then you're in
sitting
pain
there.
after too, because it's tight.
Yeah. I try not to get mine too tight. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest, like, I had a bun in my hair the other day that was so tight. I ended up getting a little tiny bald spot right here from the trauma of it. Yes.
That's horrible.
And so, but it's growing back now.
The things we do for beauty as
I
women.
know.
I've
the things
always
we do.
I had
wanted
a
to get my
headache.
hair braided.
You
But
should.
could.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's like a controversial thing.
No,
Like,
braids, it's a controversial thing if you're like, hey, we invented this. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
oh,
saying?
I see.
But
I
if you're
see.
just getting your hair braided because it's cute, you're going
I've
on
just
vacation.
always wanted
Yeah,
to.
I'm gonna get it too. Even I
I'll
mean,
send you over our hair braider.
I'm
if
going
you
to the
want
Bahamas this weekend. I'm like,
and
maybe I'll
especially if
get
you're in
it
the
braided for
Caribbean, like
Bahamas.
and
Yeah.
I'm Dominican, and like it's normal to go up to the beach and
Yeah,
like get your
everybody
hair
goes on the
braided
beach.
there.
But I would say do it before you even go because you don't want to have to sit on the beach.
And
No
the sun.
way.
Yeah.
No.
So if you want, I have some great hair braiders. They'll come
Can
right
you
to
please
you.
do it? I've never
It'll
seen
look
you with any
cute.
other hairstyle.
And you
yeah.
know what, too? They also can make it nice and long because they add. I always have them like add
I
hair,
wanna
so it's
add-
really
yeah.
long.
Oh
but it's
yeah, like extensions down.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like these.
So for your guests that are on the show, how do you prepare for them?
So sorry, I'm eating pizza still.
No,
Yeah.
go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna have another.
Eat
slice.
away, girl.
She's like, I'm glad you set it off because I'm
Yeah.
having it. So it depends on who it is, right? Like for instance, if we have somebody on, like today we had on Notori and Joji Sakura from Power, right? Tommy and Tasha from Power.
Oh, okay. Now that you said their
Right.
their power names, now I know.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So what I'll do for that, I watch Power already, so it's not like that much prep I have to do because I love that show.
They used to film on my street, by the way.
Oh, in
When I
Brooklyn?
lived in I lived in Gramercy,
Oh, okay.
and they were always out in front of my street, and I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
what's Power?
Oh yeah, because they film a lot in Brooklyn too. But
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so what I'll do for something like that is like, okay, I watch it already, so let me refresh on what happened, the last season 5 on the last episode, just so I can remember. Because sometimes, we have
Yeah,
so much
it gets
going on.
foggy. Mhm.
I'm like, I can't even remember what just happened. So I'll refresh myself on that. A lot of what I do too is look at people's Twitters and Instagram pages, because that's a
Yeah.
really good indication on what people care about and what they have going on
sure.
currently,
Yeah.
and how they really feel about things. So you can see things in their voice.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
sometimes they'll post articles or like retweet things that are important to them. So I think that's a really great way to do research because that's like firsthand information. Going
Yeah.
to someone's personal page and seeing, what matters to them
Yeah.
and talking about that. And then I'll look at other interviews they've done just to see what other questions have been asked, if there's things I wish they would expand on more, things that have changed since they first said that. And if there's an album, if it's music, listen to the music. If
Yeah.
it's a TV show, watch the show. If it's a book, read the book,
So you've read like a whole book before too,
I
or
Oh my
definitely
gosh.
have.
wow, no, that's like amazing. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like the things we're new at this thing, so like when we have to do research, basically we just watch a bunch of interviews, look at the Instagrams, but we are like looking for ways to get like more
Yeah.
seasoned.
And
with our
and
guests.
I think if author's coming, you have to read the book because if you have it available to you, unless it's like not out yet
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is important to like if you know in advance because sometimes things do happen at the last minute,
Right.
And so you can't do but so much preparation.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can do it, I think you should because it shows a lot of respect. Like I respect the fact that you're coming, so I did as much as I could to prepare.
Right.
Because I've definitely had experiences when I was younger and just starting where I wasn't prepared, and it's not a good feeling.
No, and then you don't know
It
what
gives
to
you
say.
anxiety, and
And
you're
then you
like,
also feel bad. Like,
Yeah.
damn, this person came and I didn't know enough about them and I should have
Yeah.
asked this. And then you have the, what I should have did, type of regrets. So.
Right.
Well, with because you have the book club that you run, and I also know you're an English major. Do you think you'll ever write a book? Like
I'm
in your
working on
future?
my book now.
Oh,
you're working on
amazing.
the
Okay,
book.
now we have to read it and have her back on.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
That's hard because
definitely.
I'm writing it myself.
Oh really?
Yeah, so, but it's an interesting concept that I came up with because when I was young, like I always knew I wanted to be a writer. The way that I am, like, you know how you don't want to write about yourself because it feels like,
Yeah, it feels like kind of
like,
just
am
like
I ready to
self-absorbed.
do this
Yeah.
yet? Like, does anybody care? But
Yes, I feel like that about
you
myself
have to
all the
really
time.
think that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, does anybody care but I do feel like I have some great stories and some of them involve not just me, but like other people. And I do have an advice segment that I do called Ask Yee on the Breakfast Club. I do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
twice a week.
Yeah.
And so people are always like, okay, I think I give pretty good advice, but it comes from real life experiences of things that have happened to me or to my friends. So the book is kind of based on these
Amazing.
real life experiences where I get my advice from. But, there's some really deep stories in there of things that have happened. Like, one of my friends, for instance, and it's okay for me to talk about it because I told her I was doing a story in the book, and she actually even gave me her own voice to put in it. As well, but she was with this guy and they have 2 kids together and he was very abusive toward her, but if you went to talk to her about it, she would just shut you out. Like if you tried to be like, look girl, you got to leave him, sometimes you can't do that even though you're like, we're your friends. People shut you out if you're not saying what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've all had experiences where you're like, okay, I want to approach my friend and tell her boyfriend's, can I curse?
Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever
Okay,
you want.
Just want to make sure, her boyfriend's a dickhead, but then
Yeah.
it's hard to do that sometimes
Right.
because then they hate you.
Right.
Yeah.
know?
Then when they're back in like lovey-dovey, then they're like, that bitch said
Right.
something
She
about
told me
you.
you-
That's
Angela
one thing
said
I
you were a
love
dickhead.
about our friendship. Like she could, like we don't do. I'm like whatever. Like
Right.
say what
Yeah.
you want to say. Like I'm not gonna hold it against you. Like So that's.
And I'm not going to tell your boyfriend that you said that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do that. Like, why are you telling?
Did you know that Angela said that you're a complete asshole and a dickhead
Right.
and that you have a Napoleon complex? Oh, okay, cool.
And then now I got to show up somewhere and see you and your boyfriend, and then
Awkward.
he's like, I hate that bitch.
Yeah.
So I think it is. So with that situation, it was bad enough that like her mom was like, "Can you talk to her?" And I just couldn't because no one, her family couldn't. So one day I wake up in the morning and I look at my phone and I'm like, what number is this? And it was her baby daddy sending me naked pictures of her, and he sent it to her boss, and she works like at a really great, He sent it to her boss. He sent it to her brother, to all her friends. and everything, right? Like, look at what she's sending out. So needless to say, at that point, I was like, okay, I can't just like be just her friend anymore. So I called her. She was crying. You know, it's early in the morning because I was doing morning radio at Sirius at the time.
Yeah.
And she's like hysterical crying, of course, because that's embarrassing.
That's
so, you
horrible.
know, first I'm like, first of all, you sent your man naked pictures of yourself. Big deal. You
Who
know?
gives a shit? Everyone
like,
does it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
your man. Like, you have 2 kids together. So what? So let's not even be concerned about that. But what I am concerned about is that you guys have kids together.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did right now is very abusive. And I know that he's physically abusive, even though you won't talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm aware of that. And so I was like, we have to go and get a restraining order for you. And we're going to do it today. I'm going to let you pull yourself together. When I leave work, I'm going to come get you. I called my friend who was a sergeant at the police station so he could wait outside, walk us in to file a report. So it was very smooth and easy for her, you know, to do it. And I just remember the whole time she was like, her cuticles were bleeding because she was like picking at her nails because she was just so
Anxious.
Yeah, and it was really sad, and she was crying, and I've never seen her like that. But you know, she went in and he kept calling her. Well, I was like, listen, I'm just asking you. I can't control what you do when I'm not around, but let's just get this done for your kids.
Yeah.
And before, and so that whole experience. But fortunately, after that, she never messed with him again.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God, amazing.
And he
Yeah.
left her alone?
No, not right away.
I can
And
tell
then he
you no.
threatened. He did threaten to like come and take the kids. I was like, and she was so nervous. I was like, first of all, we did the restraining order, so
Yeah.
already, boom, glad we took care
Yeah.
of that. And who's gonna give him custody of the kids? Like,
After you have like receipts, like this man
not
is
happening.
manipulative, abusive. Yeah.
you got him a job. You pay
Right.
his cell phone bill.
Oh my gosh.
Like, he's not getting custody of nobody's kids.
How
Okay,
dare
so
he.
yeah, so fortunately, you know, we did that. But she told me afterward, you know, she ended up going to therapy to find out why that was happening. But I think so many women go through things like that when they're in, and it might not even be that extreme,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know, it's a
Subtle.
bad situation. Your friends can see it's a bad situation, but you're not listening to anyone. So
The most scary part is when your friends start to alienate themselves and like don't want to tell you about their problems and
Yeah.
like kind of get rid of when their significant other kind of forces all of their friends and family away from them.
And you know, and that's what's hard because you want to say something, but at the same time, you're like, I don't want her to feel like she can't talk to me.
Yeah.
Because you know, we also have this thing where we don't want to have judgment
Right. Yeah.
in our friends' situations, and people will be like, I don't want to tell her because she's so judgmental. You
Yeah,
know?
like, oh, I'm not gonna tell her anything. You never know what she's gonna say. Like, you know, she talks all this shit. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, so that's kind of like, that's just one of the things I talk about in the book. I talk about my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend who used to cheat on me all the time. But it's funny, like to me.
Now it's therapeutic. You're like laughing at him, like, okay, asshole. Like,
but
yeah.
it's like, why did I stay in a relationship so long with somebody that I knew was cheating on me? And why do we wait until we have like hardcore evidence where, you know, I
How
saw
long
his-
were you guys together?
5 years
Oh
almost.
geez.
And the
Yeah.
cheating went on the whole time.
Yeah.
Now you're
But-
laughing at it
Yeah,
because
no,
you're
it's
so
funny
over
'cause
it.
you feel so stupid afterward. But I think at the same time, like he would deny everything.
Of
Like we
course.
literally were out, and some girl like came running up to us while we were out together, crying like, "You just slept with me last week, and now
Oh
you won't
my
even
God.
speak to me." And I was like,
I would never speak to a man again if that.
No,
And he
that's
was like,
you
that's
were-
enough proof. And like,
Yeah.
but he was like, "Oh, get away! Why are you lying?" Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, maybe she is lying. You know
Yeah.
how we convince ourselves things?
because the thing is, like, that's the worst. When as women we have intuition, but then sometimes like paranoia and PTSD kicks in, and we're like, oh wait, no, this is me being crazy. Like this could be
you
true.
believe what you want to believe.
Right.
Too,
right,
because
right,
guys
right.
would tell you like, "You're crazy. You're so crazy. Like I can't believe you let somebody you don't even know."
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you start being convinced like, "I don't know her. You're right. Like she."
Yeah, and then sometimes you are wrong. Like
Yeah.
sometimes like I'll have something in my head that I'm like, oh no, trust me, I know this shit is true. Like I don't give a fuck, whatever. And then I'm like, oh my god, I was so far off with
Right,
like
and then
that
you're, like,
conclusion, and then you don't
apologizing.
trust yourself. Yeah.
So you know, it's good. And I talked to him about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, so now you guys are cool. You and that.
yeah,
ex?
we've been cool. This was a while ago.
Oh.
So I was able to like in my book talk about like why, you know, just all the things that he was doing that I was like, clearly he's cheating. But then why did I stay? And then he talks about why he did what he did and why he was cheating too.
Was it because his ego? He's like, he
It
needs-
partly, yeah, because he was popping. He felt like, you know, he had a nice apartment and that he owned, and he had a good job, you know.
Was he
working at-
young?
Yeah, we were both younger. A lot. We were like, you know what? We broke up on his 30th birthday.
what a nice way to break up with someone. Like happy
Yeah.
birthday, fuck you.
Yeah, we were about to go out, and I went to Google the restaurant to get the directions, and his Gmail popped up.
Oh.
And I said, God, is this a sign?
And
And I
you're
need
like,
to take a look for myself.
Yeah.
And then it was a sign from God. And
Yeah.
I looked and I saw all kinds of pictures on vacations with some girl from his job, like
Oh my God.
in a hot tub in the Hamptons with another girl, and the same girl that ran up on us in the club. Right.
and
so-
this was in his apartment before you were going out.
This was no, I was in my apartment, and
Oh.
he had used my laptop and didn't log out.
Sloppy.
Yeah, but you know,
What did you do? Did you put your hands on him? No.
No, I actually called him, and I'm a very calm person. Like, to be honest, I'm like so calm that people get nervous.
Or it's like, is she crazy?
Yeah, because I'm very calm. Because I have a trick that I always do. Right, when I get really upset about something, I count from 10 backwards before I do or say anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like 10, 9, 8. And I also feel like being calm is like a great show of power over somebody.
For sure.
Because people
Bruce Lee
anticipate
said that, yeah.
for you to like wild out and act crazy. So when you act calm, you're even crazier.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a serial killer.
Yeah, like, what is she about
kind-
to do?
right. So then what happened? You just didn't go out for his birthday?
So I call him and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to go to dinner with you tonight. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I just started texting him like
Pictures?
all this, everything, screenshots of all the conversations and the email, the travel agent conversations, planning the trip with the girl.
It's so
the
premeditated.
pictures. And he was like horrified, and he didn't know what to do. So
What does he say about it now? Is he sorry?
I mean, he is definitely sorry. He's been sorry ever since. But that was like kind of the last straw for me to see that. I was like, there's just no going back for me.
No.
And so, yeah, he's definitely sorry. And I mean, we're cool, like, to this day. I just will never, ever, ever look at him.
One thing me and Camille were discussing before you came is like we really like that you're like a positive, morally sound woman in the industry, because like now that you say it makes sense that you've written this book, because you seem really morally sound, and we don't even have to like watch a million interviews to know that, but we really like that about you, and we think like it's so great that you get to like meet all these people in the industry and be like a light basically. So is there anyone that like has become your friend and you've had to like mentor and give advice to like in the industry, or you can't?
Let me see, in the industry, I mean, there's people that I consider like my really, really good friends, you know, that like, I'm trying like, well, my best friend, but we knew each other before the industry. She's an artist. Her name is Santi Gold, and we're best friends.
Oh, I've heard of her.
Yeah,
I think
she's
so.
on tour right now. She was just here in New York at the where was she at? I was there. I can't even remember where we were. The Hammerstein, and so she's my best friend. But like 7th Street is a really good friend of
I
mine.
love Seven. I love her
Yes.
music. She's great. Wow.
She,
Okay.
yes, that's my girl. And so, you know, I think like with all my friends, anytime they need something from me, like there's people that, like my friend Natina, she's a VP at Def Jam. Mike Kaiser, he's the president of Atlantic Records. That's like one of my best friends. And so there's people that I've definitely, from doing the work that I do, have become really, really close with. And I really value them. Like, I know some people will tell you it's not good to be friends with people in this industry, but I think that you can have real genuine relationships with people. It's just, I don't like forced relationships.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like when people try to force themselves to have friendships just because they're opportunists,
Yeah.
or they see like, oh, I could be cool with this person because then I could be here and I could do this. And I'm all for like asking for a favor if you need one, but don't pretend to be my friend because
Yeah.
you need something. Just
Like,
say what it is.
Yeah, don't like send a text. Hey, how are you? How's your dog? So anyway,
Yeah.
is it okay if you can I come on the Breakfast Club because I have like whatever. I started like an extension hairline and I want to. You're like, no, what are you talking like?
And like bring something to the table. Like if you are gonna ask people for stuff, make sure you bring something to the table too. Don't just be always asking for things,
Right.
and then you have like no value to a
Yeah,
relationship.
you can't add value to like the friendship or whatever.
Yeah, I'm very into like if I connect with somebody and it's like a real like, oh, I really like them. And I am like that. Like I'm a nice, like I tend to like people unless you do something like really crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I do play off of vibes, but you know, I tend to get along well with people.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that's come on the Breakfast Club where you just were like, I will never like vibe with you off of like outside of this room?
Yeah, there's definitely been people that I didn't vibe with. But to me, nothing is that serious. Like, because this is work still, too. So even if I don't vibe with you, if I choose not to be around you, I just don't have to. And if
Right.
I choose to be around you, I will. And I think, you know, there's people that I've been super friendly with that we've kind of, I've never had like a complete falling out with somebody, but our relationships change, and there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that. You know, sometimes we're in relationships where we're doing so much giving that is draining on us.
Yeah.
And we feel obligated to do things, and you should never feel obligated to. You should do
Right.
things because you want to,
Right.
not because you feel obligated or like, oh my God, this person's gonna be mad at me if I don't da da da.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah.
Like most of my friends understand, like Angela barely gets any sleep, and if she can't make it to something, it's because she's exhausted, and I respect that.
Yeah,
but
she's
when people
working
try to
hard.
make you feel guilty,
Oh.
you're not gonna come to my birthday.
I can't stand that.
Guilt
Don't make
trips
me
don't
feel
work
bad.
on me.
That's like a high school behavior. I mean,
Yeah.
we're women, we're adults, we're doing
Everyone
stuff.
has their lives. And
I
everything.
always am understanding when someone is like, well, it's just.
You're like, I'm sorry,
you know.
I can't. Actually, I
Yeah.
just don't want to. I'm tired. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
Like,
just keep it real.
I would go, but I don't want to.
I don't want to leave my bed.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like it.
You know?
So, out of like the men guests that you've had, have any of them slid in your DMs after, like, Angela,
Like,
what's
hey.
up, girl?
I'm not gonna lie, my DMs are so boring.
I don't believe that.
Because you gotta think, I've been doing radio for 15 years, so most people already know me. So they're not like
They have your
don't
number.
care.
They're texting
Yeah.
you.
Oh, I see. So your text messages are lit.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm really boring. I think a lot of things, like, first of all, I wish I would have been more popping when I was younger. Like, if I would have had money when I was younger and been
You-
like, I
Everything
definitely would
happens
have
for a
been dotting
reason.
it out before social media. But I think that now it's just like, first of all, people are nervous. Like, they think that anything they do might end up on the Breakfast Club.
Oh, that makes
Oh,
sense.
So I do think people
true.
think about that. They're like, I don't want to say anything because then next thing you know, I'm going to be on the Breakfast Club.
And there's receipts now. Like, there's nothing
Right.
you can do or say that doesn't come
So
with receipts.
people think that, and then there have been people. I'm trying to remember. Like, there's people who like try it a little bit, but I think guys will like just throw it out there a little just to see how you respond, and if their response is not what they feel like is, you know,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna really try that hard because you got to think these guys are trying to talk to like 30 different girls. So, you know,
So
whatever's
have-
easiest sometimes.
So you're saying guys in the industry are trying to talk to 30
Yeah.
different
Oh, yeah.
So you were talking about it on Lip Service the other day. I think I like tuned into one quick like segment where you were talking about industry guys versus regular dudes.
Yeah.
So which would you prefer?
I like regular guys,
Oh.
please. I'm so regular. Like,
It's
I
so much easier to be with a regular dude.
I love to be able to like just go out and not have to talk about, you know, everything that happened at work or people asking you for favors. Imagine having a boyfriend that like needed favors from you.
Imagine you were dating like an R&B singer or a
Oh
rapper.
my God.
Hey,
Like,
babe, my single's coming out. Can I come on the
I'd be like, good for you.
nice. I'll post it on
Or
my
they
Instagram
ask you if
story.
you like it and you don't. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Can you get it to play on the radio, please?
I'd be like, talk to Envy.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good
He's
one.
the DJ.
Oh, that's true. So no rappers have slid in. You don't have to say who, but no rappers have slid in your DMs like, hey.
Not in a while. Like, I can't. I think definitely when I was younger, it was a lot more because I was out a lot more too.
Oh,
So
okay.
people would see me out and stuff like that. But I think as far as even like rappers, especially, they're just so used to me. They're not like, they don't care. I think people more would be like, hook me up with your friend than anything.
Okay.
Because you know all like the hot
Yeah.
artists and like models and Instagram models. They come
Like
on
when
the
I used
show.
to do lip service, you know, previously guys would hit me up and be like, yo, tell Shorty come here. Like, tell Shorty come about it. It would be like that.
Right. Well, I think that's a good sign. That means that people like they respect you. I really do think that because imagine like every time a rapper came on, he was in your DMs like, "What's up? Like, let's hang out after." You'd be like, "What do you think this is?"
Well, that's probably why you excel so well at your job because they respect you. You're not just like some little prize
Yeah.
sitting there. You're like actually a real human being.
And
Right.
I also, like, I'm not going anywhere. I think that, you know, I've been doing this for so long that even if you don't like me or don't respect me, you can't really do anything about
Like,
it. Like,
deal
what
with
are you
it.
going to do? You know, it's like,
You're not gonna come on the Breakfast Club? Yeah, okay.
we'll be okay.
Yeah. We'll be fine. How is it working with like in a room full of men? Because even with the, I don't know who the other people are that are in there that are not Envy and Charlemagne, but like it's all dudes
Yeah,
in
this is
there.
a board op, and then it's our producer, and then our associate producer. It is all men, except for there's one woman who works with us, and we have a lot of female interns. But it is, you know what? I feel like my whole life I've always worked with men, and I do enjoy doing my podcast just because I like female energy around me
Yeah.
sometimes. Because being around men, like even just certain conversations I have, they just don't get it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
no matter how much I try to explain it to them, they'll never understand. And I don't know that they necessarily want to or that I even expect them to. But sometimes, I think sometimes they argue with me just to argue with me, not even to argue their point. They just want to disagree with what I'm saying.
I just want to be
'cause
combative.
yeah.
Like, let me just argue.
So I honestly, like, sometimes I leave there and I'm like, I just don't want to talk to any guys for like 2 hours and just give me a break.
So especially because the opinions can be so outlandish, and you're like, you really think that this is
Yes.
okay?
I'm like, are you
really?
crazy?
Yeah. That can be so exhausting.
So I love girls trips.
Oh yeah, and brunches and
Yes,
stuff like
I
that.
love like going on, and people are like, oh, you're always on a girl trip, because I'm always with guys all day. When I was at Sirius, I was the only woman on the station.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
when I did
Right.
that show, and so that was really hard. Just not having like women around. Like the whole entire everybody that worked with us was a guy. We didn't have any.
Right.
You know, women working with me. So,
It's a lot.
and then now come to the Breakfast Club, and it's a male. You know,
Yeah, it's everyone in there's a guy.
Yeah.
How do you make yourself be heard when they're just like talking and they're so opinion? Would you have like
have to cut
opinion?
in.
You have to cut in. How do you interject? Is it like a method to interject where you're like, okay, I have something to say, or
this is I have to like look at who's like, and I could tell like, because Charlamagne talks the most, so
Mm-hmm.
I always see his mouth moving. So I just have to like, it's like playing double dutch when you see the rope go up and you got to jump in.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I have to jump in when I see his mouth start quivering, like
Yeah.
before he starts talking.
you're like, okay, he's taking a breath. Let me talk.
Sometimes
Okay.
you have to cut in before the guest stops talking, so you could get in before the other person starts talking, so you get in 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens all the time. Like when you see they're about to end a sentence, you're like, okay. After she says, so you know, and then you're like, yeah, and blah blah blah, because you know that
Right.
that's the only chance you're gonna have to be able to talk. So
Yeah.
There's actually a technique there because
Yeah, it is.
I knew there had to have been one because it's two very strong dominant personalities in the room who are very opinionated. So I was like, we have to ask her. that.
So we know you give great love advice and relationship advice. My friend texted me. He's a guy. He texted me 2 days ago, and he wrote this. And I know how I feel about it, so we want to know what's your stance. He wrote, okay, so this girl I've been talking to for a couple weeks now started talking about another guy she's casually dating. He put a lot of exclamation points after that. Meaning she thinks I'm in the friend zone. Should I be real with her and tell her that I like her and risk losing the friendship? Or should I just keep playing the friend? I really like her.
this is interesting. So he thought he was seeing her.
Yeah, he thought.
That's sad.
He
Stop.
thought that's his personality.
Like, oh, you thought you were dating her.
I'm like, why did he think that was happening?
No, but what if she's just like mentioning other because he's not like making a move and she's like mentioning, by the way,
Like I'm
trying
going
to,
on a date.
Yeah, trying
You know
to.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Well,
like
it
that.
could be one of two things. It could be that she's doing that because she wants to make sure that he knows he's in the friend zone.
Yeah.
So sometimes we talk about
true.
other guys because we want to make sure that you know your place, so don't even try it.
True.
Right.
is
so
so
it could
true.
be that, or it could be that she's waiting to see what he has to say about it to make him a little bit jealous, so
Yeah.
he'll make a move. I don't know what their vibe is. That's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
In order to know what are their conversations like. So what he should do is try to plan like a real date.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they gone on like dates like out to
Right.
dinner.
He said
out
he's
to-
been talking to her, meaning that's probably like they're hanging out, going to the movies or something. I don't know.
He should plan something that shows some more effort rather than just talking to it
Like a romantic interest. Don't be so casual
Yeah,
about me if
right,
you're gonna
like
want
a
to pursue
really
me.
nice dinner
Yeah.
where he goes to like pick her up and get her and walks with her and then try to like see what happens if he like tries to put his arm around her. Is she
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? Ew. Or
Right, where it's like, ew, what are you doing? What are
Or-
you? Yeah, that's so true. Because
that's
you
a
can
good way to
imagine.
see. Just just like see if she's with it afterward.
Get her
and
a
then-
little drunk too.
Get a couple
Get her a
glasses
little
of wine.
saucy. Yeah.
I
See
think
if
that he
she's
should just
taking
tell
it.
her like that he's interested in her because sometimes women want to be like blatantly pursued, like all this
Yeah.
casual, like oh I'm not thirsty stuff doesn't
I'm
work for
talking
me.
to you.
Like no,
But
like
the only thing is, I don't know what their vibe is because I don't know if she's telling him that because she's like,
Stay
like
away.
oh yeah, like oh that's true.
Well,
think- yeah.
here's my stance. If I told him, I'm like, if you're not trying to aggressively date her in New York City, there's 10 other men that are. Whether
Right.
she's a 2 or a 10, there's gonna be other
Yeah.
men aggressively
you
trying
like
to
her,
date
so
her.
other men like her for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I told him, I'm like, just go for it. I mean, if you lose the friendship, like, you don't want to be friends anyways.
And
Or
also,
you
like,
won't lose
call
it.
her and do stuff like that. Because I think a lot of times we get so lost in, like, texting people.
DMing
And,
Oh, for
Snapchat.
sure.
you know, I think a real way to tell when someone likes you is if they actually pick up the phone, call you, and have those long conversations where
Yeah.
you really get to know each other when you
Right.
can't see each other. Do the cute FaceTime thing, you know. Invite someone over to your house. Like, y'all have been talking. So why not have a
Yeah.
Netflix and chill type of night to really get to know each other? And that's when you can see if she's interested. Because if I'm not interested in you, I'm not coming over your house.
Period. No,
no
no,
way.
especially not late.
Yeah.
But like
so
I'll
that's
meet
a
you
good
for
little
coffee
gauge.
outside the house, but then it's like okay, I gotta go.
Because I understand also wanting to keep a friendship in case it's not going anywhere and you want to, see what it's like, and you don't want to go too hard because you don't want her to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you, misread that. So I think you just got to go a little harder.
If I liked someone, I'd rather lose the friendship. I would rather pursue
You would
them.
lose the friendship?
Yeah, for sure. If I liked them,
I think
I don't need friends.
You don't lose anything by being like honest about your intentions.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
I don't like when guys are like trying to be my friend and like treating me like a dude when
Right,
they
don't
like
do
me.
that.
Don't call me kid. Don't call me big
Bro.
head. Like don't neg
Big
me.
head.
You know what I'm saying? Like don't neg me.
Because I have a big head and it's offensive.
Actually, I have a big forehead. I know that. Thanks. I don't like that whole like.
You should ask her on it and be like, hey, let's go on a date.
Yeah, exactly. And then if she says no, we're just friends, then you just
Then
stay
yeah.
friends.
Like a bro date?
Yeah. Yeah, you bring a girl and I'll bring my date and we can double date. Oh my God, that'd
Then
be bad.
you know what it is then.
Yeah. He doesn't lose anything by just trying it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't hurt.
It is awkward though when somebody likes you and you don't like them, but you like them as a person.
Oh, yeah, and then you feel bad. You feel kind of guilty. You're like, why don't I like them? They're so nice. One
And
time
then
I
you're
cried
like,
about
"It's not
that.
Me.
Yeah. We have a couple games to play. So the word association game, you know how it works. I
Yes.
say a word, you say the first word that comes to mind. Okay.
All right.
Instagram,
Twitter.
Cardi,
B.
Drake,
Meek.
pizza,
Spinach.
fuzzy,
Bear.
Trump,
Yuck.
latex.
Condoms.
Oh, you said that. See, that was a really good round. Every time we say Instagram for each and every one of our previous guests, they say model or Instagram thought. You're the
Really?
first person
Yeah,
to say
she's the
something
first
else.
female that says like something normal, like
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah,
They're
everyone's
like Instagram models,
Instagram
Well,
thoughts.
you see what they're thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's more guy Instagram thoughts than girls, just so y'all
Oh
know.
no, I'm aware. This,
Yeah.
that's a turn off for me. That's disgusting.
Men that are thoughts on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like posting up selfies.
They
and
want to
stuff.
call women thoughts, but you guys are like the biggest thoughts on Instagram.
First of all, sending the same DM
Right.
to 50 people. I'll never forget. I'm not gonna say who it was, but I used to be friends with someone, and we would like talk all the time and catch up. She sent me a screenshot of a DM she got, and I'm like, girl, he just sent me the same exact
the
one.
same exact. They're
Yeah.
so stupid.
And
And then
it's-
they know y'all friends with each other.
Yeah, and he's, I'm like, why would you, like, if you're a celebrity, change it up a little bit, and because surely people are going to talk about the DMs you're sending.
Make it personal.
I'm like, I can't believe he copy and pasted a DM to the both of us.
Well, did you call him out?
No, I just completely ignored him.
Okay, good.
Ew, no, I don't want his DMs coming
And
through.
like, can guys ever take like a good selfie that doesn't look weird?
Why is it? Oh, yeah, it's always like something like that, or like something.
What
No,
is a
but I
guy's
don't like the
selfie?
metrosexual thing
Or
where
the
they're
mirror
like,
picture?
yeah, where
don't
they're
like mirror
like
pics.
a
I don't like
man
mirror
on Instagram and they're like posted up. I'm like, if you're a man, you should. I mean, they should be a little more casual. Like,
Right.
bro, take this candid of me so
Right.
it looks like I didn't set this picture.
Yeah,
up.
like on a couch with like glasses on and like a slice of pizza, no shirt, and they're like posing like
A
this. I'm like,
cigar.
stop. And yeah, stop.
Or
stop.
sometimes they're like in the gym. They love taking pictures like
Oh
in the
my
gym. in the
gosh.
mirror.
I'm good. I'd rather find out you have a really nice body, but like like me being shocked when you take your shirt off and I'm like, oh shit. Then me being like, damn, I already know he looks like naked. I wonder
Right.
if men, I know men don't feel the same because there's so many
Yeah,
girls
they'd
online.
rather see it all.
yeah,
Yeah, they'd rather
they
know.
want it all up front.
We
Send
ha-
nudes.
We have another question that we thought, now that I look at the word association game, are you, I don't know if you're on a team, I don't know if you can say, but are you Team Cardi or Team Nicki? Because we were talking about our teams.
See, that's.
Because I know that you got the inside scoop, girl. I know that you know more than we know.
You know what? I think here's the thing. I like both of them, and I think it's hard for me to say like I'm on a team over another team. Because look, I love Little Kim.
Yeah.
I love Nicki Minaj. To me, like, I love a lot of Nicki Minaj's songs. I love
Me
Cardi
too,
B.
yeah.
I think as far as personality wise and like, treating people well, Cardi B has done a better job at that than Nicki has. So I'll say that. But I also feel like Nicki's had a rough time.
Nikki has had a rough
Yeah,
time.
Yeah,
just
like you sometimes can't blame the person for like, it's like PTSD or something. You know
I
that
have-
there's
Being a
something-
woman in this business is tough, period. And I think sometimes we have to go like really hard to try to. Sometimes people think that when you say things a way that a man says them, you're a bitch. But because you're a woman, they look at it like
You're
that.
bitter. Like,
Right.
you're
And
yeah.
like when we're more aggressive and when we know what we want, people look at that in not such a great way. They look at you like, oh, she's got some nerve. Oh, she's a bitch. Oh, she. But if a guy did it, they wouldn't have a problem with it. And that
Right, right.
happens. Look, trust me, that happens to me all the time at work.
Yeah.
You know, if Envy or Charlamagne say something, everybody's like, yeah, bro. If I say it, they're like, oh, that bitch don't know what she's talking about.
Or we're
And
like, why don't you be a lady? How could you say that?
right, and it's always like that. So I do think that Nicki's had a pretty tough time when it comes to that. Like, people always like go really hard at her. So I think that's hard. I think Cardi B for people might be more relatable now, just because she is very like reminds everybody of themselves. You know what I'm saying? The way that she talks about things, and she's very open about talking about her vagina, and you know, that's not my vagina in that picture.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, we had a makeup artist, I forgot his name, but he was telling us about how he did Cardi's makeup. And he was like, all the makeup artists say this, like, she's crazy, she's moving around, she doesn't care, she's not nice. But then it's crazy because the day after him and I had that conversation, she comes out with a video on Instagram saying, like, all these makeup artists are talking shit about me, but you guys have to recognize that there is an actual voice in my head. I can't help it that I'm moving around.
She's probably dead serious too. She probably
You
does
know what?
have a
Makeup
voice in her
artists
head.
hate that though.
Yeah, when
My
you're
makeup
moving
artist was
around.
just telling me that yesterday. She was like, it's hard to do people's makeup and they keep moving their head, look at their phone, doing this, doing that, and sometimes I have to slap people's phones out their hand.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's, so I guess if you're trying to do your job, you know.
Yeah, no, but I've heard some horror stories about Nicki Minaj. I've never met her personally.
Me either.
I don't know how she is, but I've just heard multiple horror stories.
I
Yeah.
think also that's like she's just dealing with stuff that she's dealing it's like a projection of like stuff she deals with behind the scenes and like anxieties and stuff. I feel like I don't think she's a bad person. I just
Yeah.
think like she deals with so much and then she gets so mad if she feels like she's not being respected and she's like, respect my pen. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And I think social media, it hurts a lot too. Like,
yeah.
I think people they react, and it's hard for people to have to deal with like everyone weighing in on you, and
Yeah,
it does
definitely.
weigh on you. You know, especially when you got like hundreds of millions of followers and people like having things to say, and some of them things aren't so nice.
Yeah.
I think that's hard too, and I think that's hard for any artist nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, I love the fact that like when I came up, we didn't have social media.
Yeah.
And so I think now it's just how we react to people, how we react to things. We're a lot more guarded about it. Sometimes we react at times that we shouldn't. Like, you might be drinking and you like, okay, fine, I ain't go on
You
Twitter.
post on your story or
Right,
you
that's the
tweet
worst
something
time.
crazy. Yeah. How do you deal with that? Do you get any crazy hate
All
on
the
your
time.
and you just don't care at this point?
I just block people.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm
my
the type
block
of
hand is
person,
petty.
yeah, I'll block you. And also,
She's like that too. She blocks everyone.
I block
get
everything
that.
for anything.
and I sometimes like to mute people so they don't know they're blocked. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's funny too. But, you know, so they can just keep on going, and I'll just never see it. But I think that what's important is to understand, and I did a TED Talk, right? And it was
did?
about
I
why
have to
people
watch
hate
it.
people that they don't know.
Yeah.
So if I don't even know you, how can I say I hate you? I've never even
Yeah.
met you in person. And most people, I've never had anybody in person come up to me and say certain things that might be said on Twitter. So it's like, who are these people, right? You start to think. But I realized that, like, have you guys ever hated someone on Twitter and, like, left nasty comments?
I haven't. No.
No, never.
Me neither.
Never.
I feel like people who do that are just not normal.
People like
They have-
that are courageous behind their phone, behind their
Yeah.
computer. And I don't think they would actually go to your face and say these things. It's like,
But it's the same thing of when I think, like, some people are just not happy. And it's people
Yeah.
that aren't happy that do that because, like, we're all pretty happy here, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
And comfortable. We're eating pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I
we
can't
gotta be-
picture any of us getting on Twitter after this, like 5
Right.
minutes after this, and be like, "F you, you guys."
I
suck."
don't want to
Like,
be that person.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I would hate to be a person that felt like that about anyone, you know? And so I'm just happy that, like, the thoughts that I have are positive thoughts for the most part. And
yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably worse for a person that has thoughts like that to always be feeling like that and thinking like that. Imagine how that weighs on your life
Yeah.
to
it's
have,
not
like,
good.
negative demons in your head.
Yeah. No, literally, it's like they just can't control like their thoughts and.
So in the future, we just, like, feel sympathy.
Sympathy.
Yeah.
Sympathy, yeah. That's
And
the
even
way.
though the initial reaction is like, "What? Where are you getting this information?" And then you're like, "Whatever." It's not
It's
even
like
worth it.
sympathy, block.
Yeah.
Like,
Block,
I'm
block.
sorry,
I feel so
like,
bad for you, Block. You're never
Yeah,
gonna see
I'm
my shit
sorry
again.
you're not happy.
Sorry for your life, block.
And the worst is when you block someone and then 5 minutes later they're like making another account and then you block that one and 5 minutes later
Who
there's
has
another
time
account.
to be making accounts?
That's happened so many times though. They just make. I'm like, how many emails did you have to make?
Oh my
Like, it's
Well,
so
they're
many.
putting a lot of energy into you, so you should be like,
yeah, you're actually.
I'm like, Sam, you love me.
Yeah.
You really do. One thing I remember about the Breakfast Club that I'll never forget is, no, your wholeness could get erased. Yo, I see that.
Drea.
And, yeah, Drea saying like,
My host
no,
got
but
deleted.
your wholeness can get deleted.
Yeah, somebody just said that on the show the other day.
Yeah,
Who
did you
was
know
it?
that your
I don't
wholeness?
get it. What is it? Your
She's trying
honus?
to
Your
say that, like-
cojones?
No, your wholeness. If you
Oh, your honus.
Yeah.
Your
Yo,
honus.
stop.
Like it used to be a hoe, but after a certain amount of years, you
Like,
know, got married, had a kid, it's deleted.
your wholeness can be deleted.
It can cancel itself out.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
your wholeness, it's like a credit report. Like after a while, like certain things disappear after your credit report. Your wholeness
After
can
7 years.
Yeah, your wholeness can get deleted.
Your honus never goes away.
And
So
you
do you
know
think
what?
it doesn't get deleted?
No,
right?
it
Do you-
doesn't get deleted.
Do you think your wholeness gets deleted?
I think you just gotta own your wholeness.
I think
Yeah.
I think it can get kind of deleted, and you can like rehabilitate yourself and not be such a hoe. But you just gotta understand, like you just a phase in your life. It's okay. Like
Hoes
It's
a
a learning
hoe.
experience.
yeah, but yeah,
And it's over now. Like I'm no longer.
by the way, all of our wholeness has gotten deleted.
Just now?
Yeah, just now.
Delete. Because once you have a slice of pizza, your wholeness gets deleted.
Once you go vegan, your wholeness is deleted. You healthy, your
No more
pH
meat.
levels are perfect.
If
yeah,
your
no more-
honus stays in private, it's never even there.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
listen,
if no one
on
ever
lip
knows about your
service,
private.
according to the girls, if you've had plastic surgery, those bodies before you got the new body don't count.
Oh my god, that's
wow.
funny.
Yeah, so.
I've heard girls say like, oh, if he wasn't lasting like longer than a certain time, then that don't count as a body.
And
I'm
if
like,
it's in
yes.
another country, it doesn't count.
Oh yeah, like right. Or if I think it
Colombia,
counts.
people get their boobs done there.
And it,
Yeah.
It's more
and,
natural.
and if he's embarrassing, it doesn't count.
Right. Or if it was small, it doesn't count because it didn't do anything to you down there. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
It's like a
God,
tampon.
yeah.
So like, how could that
If you didn't hit
affect
the
you?
walls,
I
Yeah.
had half sex.
Yeah, be like, basically, I just put a tampon up there when we did it. So
Okay, let's play a round
Oh,
of
yeah.
Would You Rather. So, Angela, would you rather, speaking of Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, would you rather have a sleepover with Cardi B or a one-on-one brunch with Nicki Minaj?
I would say a sleepover with Cardi B.
Aww.
why?
That just sounds like more fun.
It sounds like fun, right? Like
Braid
you're
each
making-
other's hair, paint each other's
watch
toes.
TV. Plus, anything I could do at home and not have to leave the house is great.
It's true.
That's so true. Because like this setting is perfect for people like that, like us.
Yeah. Okay, so if you weren't on the Breakfast Club, would you rather be Flava Flav's therapist or Guy Ferrari's chef?
I would rather be.
I think I know what she's gonna say.
Flavor Flav's therapist.
Yeah, because you give good advice.
Yeah,
so
I
why
would
not?
enjoy that.
Yeah.
And his stories are probably insane, where you'd be like, "What? That people do
Inside
that?"
the mind of Flavor
Yeah,
Flav.
that could be a show. You should have your own show where you just do stuff like that, like where you're
You're a
the mentor
therapist.
and the therapist to like these rappers with their crazy stories.
Oh my God, I wouldn't even want that.
No, that would
Couldn't sleep
traumatize
at
you.
night.
What's the show where with the one people are like the Soldier Boy was on it with this girl? It's like marriage.
Oh, boot camp,
Love-
marriage
Yeah.
boot camp.
Yeah.
they have
man.
like a therapist on there. You
Oh,
would be
yeah,
good
they-
on that.
You think so?
Yeah, but like a girl talk like show where girls are like, "Oh my God, what should I do?" So he hasn't texted me in 3 days, and he's wanting to hang out today. You'd be like, "No."
Yeah, I'd be like, don't do it. Yeah. No, listen, I think a lot of times we know the answers. We just like want to hear what we want to hear
Yeah.
to ourselves. So sometimes people will know the answer, and it's so funny. Like they'll call up and they'll be like, "So what should I do? Like my boyfriend hasn't called me in 2 weeks, but
Oh,
That's not your
God.
boyfriend anymore,
Eesh.
shorty. And that's
and
not
they
your boyfriend.
know that."
Yeah,
But I think sometimes people are hoping you'll tell them something different,
you know that happens all the time.
and then they'll be like, "You're right. You're right.
They just want reassurance.
Thanks. I needed to hear that." Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need to hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? Truthfully, sometimes people have for real, like, serious problems that, you know, and it's great that we have resources because I've been able to refer people to therapists. Honestly, we had this guy that called the other day and he was talking about committing suicide.
Oh, geez.
And it was because he was about to have to go, you know, to trial or to court for something that he knew he was going to end up going back to jail for. He's like, "I'm not going back to jail. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do it then, da-da-da-da-da." And I had this doctor who I work with, Dr. Kendall Jasper, and I called him immediately, and I got them in contact with each other, and they actually met up together in North Carolina. He had him sit down with, like, the assistant district attorney, like, helped him out so much.
oh my God, that's
And like
amazing.
to me, that's such a big deal that I can like help you connect with somebody that's gonna, you know, people do feel really helpless sometimes,
Yeah.
and they don't have anybody to talk to. And there's been so many times that we've provided resources for people that really need them. Like one woman was couldn't get a job because her baby daddy wasn't paying child support, and she didn't have a car, so she couldn't get to work, and it was like a lot of different things going on.
Yeah.
And we were able to help her out with some resources, you know. And so sometimes I think people just need a connection. And so
Yeah.
I think, to me, like, that's one of the best things that we offer on the show, is for people who really need help. There's women who are suffering from fibroids
Oh
and
my God.
don't know what to do about it, and we have these detox doctors that come on, and they've helped a lot of women personally. So I love to hear those stories when somebody, like, you know, contacted the show and then something really positive happened afterward.
It's like good for a support system. Like, you know, some people just need
Yeah.
that core support system. Maybe they don't have it at home or with their friends.
Like, people
And
email
they have the
me.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Wait,
People
are you
will
talking about
email
lip
me
service or
even,
the
like,
Breakfast Club?
offline on the Breakfast Club?
Oh, okay.
People will email me personally, and, like, one woman, like, she was in an abusive relationship. She sent me pictures of herself all,
Oh
like,
my God, it's so sad. I hate domestic
and to
violence.
me, it's kind of like, it's easy for us to be like, just leave him, girl.
Yeah,
You know?
it's
No,
not
but-
that easy.
No, it's kind of like a mental illness. They feel trapped and like they can't, you know what I mean? And the finances
And
might
seriously,
not
I called her. I was like, I need your phone number. I called her, and I told her I made her go to the police station, get a restraining order, and she moved out, got her own place, and now she's, like, doing so much better. But sometimes people really just need you to care and, like, tell them
what to
this
do.
is what you need to do,
Yeah.
you know, and not judge them
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
on what they're doing. Like, let's take this from here on moving forward.
They don't think anyone cares. They don't maybe have a strong self-respect maybe at that point, especially if a man's been, like,
Right.
beating
Yeah.
the shit out of them.
They
Oh my
already
God,
feel
yeah.
like stupid, and they're like, I feel so stupid. You're like, no, you're not stupid, because trust me, if you were stupid, there's so many people that, you know, have those same issues as you. So we just
Yeah.
got to figure out what can we do to help you.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't get there overnight. It's like slowly but surely. And
We've
then-
all done some stupid stuff.